In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 signs that your insulin resistance is reversing. Insulin resistance, also known as metabolic syndrome, is when your cells stop responding to insulin in the way that they should. But what does this mean? When we eat, our food is broken down into glucose by the body, and our blood sugar rises. In response to the rise in blood sugar, insulin is released, and insulin's job here is to move the excess glucose from the bloodstream to our cells. The cells take the glucose, and blood sugar goes back to baseline. However, as I just mentioned, insulin resistance means that our cells are not responding to insulin correctly. They are not taking in blood sugar as they should, and this mismanagement of blood sugar leads to a whole host of other problems. It can lead to type 2 diabetes, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It can increase your risk of heart disease and other diseases. Now, I have several other videos on my channel where I talk about reversing insulin resistance because it is possible to reverse. But how do you know if the effort you are putting in and the changes you have made are working? In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the signs you can watch out for so you can know that your insulin resistance is reversing. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Kate. I'm a health coach and I post videos on a high-fat, nutrient-dense way of eating. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, feel free to share, and make sure to subscribe. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook where I share new posts every single day. Today's video is sponsored by 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗟. 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗟 is the all-in-one app that offers an educated approach to losing weight on keto. To save 85% off your personalized keto diet meal plan, head to 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗟.diet/Kate. The topic of today is how to know if you are reversing insulin resistance. As your cells start to become more sensitive to insulin again, as they handle glucose better, your insulin resistance will be reversing. Before we get into the signs that your insulin resistance is reversing, let's quickly recap the signs that you are insulin resistant in the first place. You might experience difficulty losing weight, excess abdominal fat, hunger after eating, frequent sugar cravings, dark patches of skin, and skin tags. And these are just a few of the signs that you might be insulin resistant. Okay, but now let's assume you've put into practice the tips and strategies I've talked about in my previous videos. You have reduced your carb intake, you are snacking less often, and you are intermittent fasting. But how can you know if it's working? Let's get into the 5 signs now. And if you are a woman, make sure to stick around until the end because number 5 might surprise you. Number 1, you don't feel hungry after eating. Feeling hungry after eating is common for people with insulin resistance. As we spoke about earlier, insulin resistance means that your cells are resisting insulin. So basically, the glucose, the energy, it's there and ready for your cells, but your cells are not able to take it in. So as far as they are concerned, you need more energy and you need to eat more. And so this results in a constant feeling of hunger, despite you having just eaten a meal. But when this starts to fade away and you start to feel more satiated after eating, this is when you will know that your insulin sensitivity is improving. Number 2, increased HDL and decreased triglycerides. This is probably the best way to test for insulin resistance besides getting a fasting insulin test. Ben Bikman actually refers to this as the poor man's method for testing insulin resistance. If you have low HDL and high triglycerides, this is a very strong indicator of insulin resistance. So, if you get more blood work done and your HDL has increased and your triglycerides have decreased, this is a sign that you're moving in the right direction and that your insulin resistance is reversing. Number 3, less sugar cravings. This one kind of ties in with number 1, but it also differs as well. Yes, if your cells are not taking in glucose properly, this can lead to cravings and specifically sugar cravings. But there's a second part to this. Depending on how insulin resistant you are, it can sometimes be related to reactive hypoglycemia or low blood sugar. This occurs when we eat foods that raise blood sugar significantly and our bodies produce too much insulin in response. This results in our blood sugar dropping too low and we experience signs of hypoglycemia, one of which is intense sugar cravings. Implementing strategies to reverse insulin resistance will mean that your blood sugar is more stable and not all over the place. You won't be having these huge influxes of blood sugar that your body is forced to deal with, and this will help with hypoglycemia and your sugar cravings will reduce. Now, before we get into the final 2 signs, I'm going to take a quick moment to tell you about today's sponsor, 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗟. The 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗏 app offers an educated approach to weight loss with the keto diet. An all-in-one keto assistant, the app provides you a personalized keto diet meal plan, grocery list, and progress tracker, equipping you with the tools you need to lose weight. The app contains over 16,000 delicious keto diet recipes. I made these hash browns the other day for my boyfriend, and they were a huge hit. You also have the option to unlock an at-home personalized training plan, a premium function available for a one-time fee, and for as little as $1.25 per week, there really is no reason not to give 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗏 a go. The team at 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗏 has been generous enough to offer all of my followers 85% off a 12-month plan when they sign up through my link. Head to 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗏.diet/Kate to take the quiz and get your personalized keto diet meal plan. Thanks again to 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗏 for sponsoring this video. Number 4, losing visceral fat. Visceral fat is the type of fat we store in our abdomen around our organs, and this type of fat is directly related to insulin resistance. When you are insulin resistant, fat gets stored in places that it typically wouldn't, such as around our organs in our abdomen. And this type of fat can be very stubborn to lose. Really, the only way to get rid of it is by improving your insulin sensitivity. So if you are measuring your midsection and it's getting slimmer, this is a really good indicator that your insulin resistance is reversing. Number 5, regular menstrual cycles. This one, of course, only applies to women, but a lot of women who are insulin resistant experience irregular periods. This is because high insulin can cause the ovaries to make more male hormones. This imbalance of hormones can cause your period to become irregular. It might be inconsistent, abnormally long, or abnormally short. But when your insulin resistance begins to improve, your cycle will become more regular. And those are the 5 signs that your insulin resistance is reversing. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have seen any of these signs in your quest to reverse your insulin resistance. I appreciate all your comments and they really help to support my channel. I try to read every single one and comment back to as many as I can, especially if they are written on the day I upload my video. And remember to check out 𝘾𝙬𝗖𝗏 for a personalized keto diet meal plan. I will put the link in the description box down below. If you guys did enjoy this video, you might also enjoy my video on how to reverse insulin resistance. I will link it here. If you want to catch up on my most recent upload, you can find it here. And if you want to check out my keto diet and carnivore diet coaching programs, you can find them here. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.